Hey, welcome back to video 2 of the online dating vlog series. If you haven't watched video 1, please go back and do that now so you can catch up with me. Today I'll be talking about the expectations I had in online dating, the expectations that you should have as well, and we'll also dive into the do's and don'ts of setting up your dating profile. But let's talk about how I went into the dating world, like a mindset. So I'm talking about expectations, my personal beliefs, values. All of that evolved and changed within and during the process of online dating. But, you know, when I first got into online dating, I knew nothing. I had nothing under my belt. I didn't know what to expect. And because of that, I went in with my guard up completely, which was a bad idea. And, it wasn't very common for someone at the time my age. I was 18, 19 years old. It wasn't usual. You didn't see very many young people on dating sites. And I got told that. I had plenty of people message me saying, "What are you doing on here? You're so young." I had family members tell me, you know, "You're so beautiful. Why do you have to resort to online dating? I don't understand. You could pick up somebody anywhere." Well, not really. Not for me. So, just as a reminder, everyone has their own opinions of online dating, and in dating as a whole, everybody has different expectations and values and personal beliefs. So, this series is based upon my personal experience and success with online dating. So, again, it doesn't work for everyone, but I figured why not share the value in my success story? Expectations. What are they exactly? So, everybody has personal expectations. I mean, they can be physical preferences, personal beliefs and values, dating in general, in terms of like courtship and, equality, that sort of thing, expectations. So everybody's is going to be different. Some may have a lot, and some may have not so many. So, what I want you to do at the end of this video, mainly for yourself, just a little homework assignment to come up with as many expectations as you can within 10 minutes. Just write them down. You should come up with at least 5. If not, that's a problem, and you need to address it quickly. But let me share with you my expectations. Now, did I start out with expectations in online dating? I think so. I think my expectations morphed, I guess you could say. I went in with a lot of skepticism. Let's just say that. Went in with a lot of skepticism. I didn't trust. I didn't have trust in the dating site because I just didn't know what I was doing. But that's why I'm here, to tell you, to help you gain the trust much faster so you know what you're getting into. You have something to stick with. You have a base to go by, and you're not just walking through the dark like I did. So, a lot of these expectations that I'm about to tell you can come off sounding quite harsh. But as far as the type of relationship that I was looking for, these expectations worked out for me. So try to think of that when you're digging deep in the expectations for yourself. So here we go. We're going to go through my list of expectations. It is quite long, so bear with me. But I feel like going into detail is going to benefit you the most in terms of understanding what it takes to survive in the online dating world, okay? To start off, I was not going to feel guilty for turning people down. Okay, I was not going to feel guilty whether it was turning 10 people down in a row. I was not going to let myself feel guilty for that. Respecting myself would always come first in any given situation. If I was not comfortable messaging someone back, I didn't. I did not need a reason for not messaging and or replying to someone. Okay? Nobody forces you to do this. The whole being respectful of someone else's feelings is a load of crap. I learned that fairly quickly. Let me tell you, because there were many times I attempted to do that in the beginning and it always smacked me right across the face. Every time. Okay? Merely just for the fact that I wasn't interested in someone, I was called names. I was harassed. And I was told things nobody should have to hear. Okay? All for simply responding and opening up the line of communication. So I stopped responding. I was tired of it. I was tired of being considerate to everyone that messaged me to let them know, hey, nice of you to say that, but I'm just not interested. I wasn't going to do it anymore because I was tired of the backlash. So when I stopped, it was very quickly thereafter, I wasn't getting harassed anymore. Did I get a few nasty responses from people who I didn't respond to for simply not responding? Yeah, but the conversation always ended right there. Did I ever get no response from people that I messaged? Of course. I didn't openly and outwardly message a lot of people, but there were more than not who ignored my messages just as much. Did I take that to heart? Not enough to write that person a nasty message. I had more self-worth than that. So you're going to run into a lot of people in online dating who are very soft, best way to put it, and obviously have no self-worth because their goal is to try and hurt you with words. So somebody who didn't respond to me that I messaged, if that person read my message and didn't respond, they just weren't interested. And I left it like that. I took their no response to me as they're not interested. Obviously, if they were, they would have wrote me. It saved me a lot of time, as selfish as that sounds, to not answer people that I just wasn't interested in. Online dating isn't for communicating with everyone and anyone. If you wanted that, that's what pen pals and Facebook is for. Okay, moving on. I have every right to be picky, if not pickier. I have every right to judge harder based on whatever I see fit. Meaning, yes, I will judge somebody based on their style of profile pictures. If it's clearly someone flaunting a cigarette or every picture is someone working out in the gym, I ignored those profiles immediately. Do I care if that seems abrasive? No. It gave me enough base to know I just wasn't simply attracted to that. If anyone doesn't respect my values and choices, I'm better off. It's as simple as that. No matter how great someone may seem in every other aspect, if they can't commend you for the fact that you want to remain celibate or that you are of a particular religion, they shouldn't lead you on just as much as you shouldn't lead yourself on. They had to be at least my age, not younger, but no more than 6 years older than me. Okay, age was huge for me. I dated people younger than me in my past, and it was awful. So that was a major part of my expectations in online dating. Profile had to be concise and in detail, but not too short of a bio. Okay? You know, someone who shows interest in themselves, their hobbies, maybe in general what they do for a living, favorite places to travel, or something they enjoy doing in their spare time. Their profile had to be interesting. If somebody can't talk about themselves a little bit, what do they have to offer? Why are they really on this dating site? And with that, somebody had to have interests and hobbies similar to mine. Not everything, but some things. I also looked for differences in hobbies and, interests, because it's also nice to find someone you can share different passions with. Has an interesting profile picture or additional pictures. Okay, this is a big one. This is a big one because online dating, unfortunately, is primarily geared off of physical attributes. So, no bathroom selfies. No overabundance of pictures with partying, drinking, doing drugs. None of that. I wanted to see somebody with a picture with family and friends, or maybe a picture with their pet, or on a trip they took. Something of value that really describes who they are as a person. Not, oh crap, I need a picture. Well, let me just go take one in my bathroom real quick. Or yeah, every picture on my profile is of me at the gym. So what? It's what I like to do. Yeah, but not everybody is going to be into that. You have to have a variety. And that's what I was looking for. Having a username that is easy on the eyes. So, this is a big one too, okay? And you will notice some people can get real creative and real nasty. I didn't want to see something like Big D Danny. Okay? Somebody looking for a real relationship, yes, can be funny, but to a certain extent. Guys, come on. My husband's username was Clownfish. And my username was Cash because that was my nickname. States clearly in their bio what they are looking for. So you should be able to do this when you set up your profile. Most dating sites are going to ask you what you're looking for, and that'll be displayed in your bio. I do know when I first started online dating, it didn't have that option. So a lot of people wrote it in their bio, which was nice. You're either going to see they're looking for a relationship. Oh, they just want to casually date. They're looking for marriage, or, hoping for something to lead to marriage, or casual hookups. Refraining from negatively referencing women in their bio. So I saw this a lot in online dating. And it's an immediate turnoff and a red flag, first off, to read in someone's bio, I'm here because my ex broke my heart. That bitch cheated on me with my best friend, and I'm looking for someone to replace her. The only pro out of that is that you can be rest assured that he's probably single. But does that say a lot of positive things about him? No. No, he called her a bitch, even if that's validated. If he's obviously still bitter about the situation, then he shouldn't be online dating. So, anything negatively referencing an ex, the opposite sex, or whatever gender preference they are into, any negative references need to be non-existent. Having a genuine, literate, and gentle tone. When I started online dating, there were a lot of people that couldn't spell worth a damn. That kind of thing annoys me. And when somebody doesn't really know how to speak correctly either, it just doesn't make the conversation enjoyable. They also have to have a sense of maturity and sustainability in their bios and their pictures. Obviously, maturity. This goes with refraining from negatively referencing women, stating clear in their bio what they're looking for, a good username, maybe not using curse words in their bio every other word. I mean, I curse like a sailor, but I can refrain from it when appropriate. And sustainability is basically, you don't expect someone to have all of their ducks in a row, but at least getting there. The goal is getting there. Whether they talk about being in school or that they have a stable job, that's sustainability. But, somebody who's just kind of mooching off a family member's couch or still living at home and plays video games all day, do you really think that person's looking for a relationship? And with that, having goals, values, and a lot going for themselves on the other side of this profile. Not everything's going to be listed about this person. It's impossible. It would be a long bio, and you don't want a long bio either. If somebody's goal is to one day run a huge marathon or get a certain job in their field, or they have values, like they believe in a monogamous relationship and faithfulness and fidelity. Those are all values. Those are all nice things to see in someone's profile if they talk about it. And I looked for that. And that's not even half on my list. And I grew these expectations over time during my process of online dating. So you can imagine that if I had these expectations when I first started, it could have been a game changer. That's why I think it's important that you have your expectations going in beforehand. They may not be the same as mine, but I think there's a general, universal group of expectations we could all agree upon. I mean, right, we want someone who's respectful. We want someone who's honest, who values us and appreciates us, okay? We want someone who makes us feel comfortable talking to them and opening up, right? Those are all universal expectations to have, but it's important to have those and apply them from the beginning. But obviously, my expectations were a little more in depth, as you can tell, and that's okay. There's no rule in the online dating world that says you can't have specific expectations. Just like there's no rule in the normal dating world. You can be as specific as not tolerating someone who doesn't have the same political beliefs. I mean, that is your personal expectation. You are allowed to have that. That's why I want you to sit down and do that little assignment. Come up with as many personal expectations as you can, because you're going to be utilizing those in the online dating world. All right, so before we can even do anything, let's talk about some of the dating sites. There's a lot, right? A lot of them, a lot to choose from. So I'm going to go by my personal opinion on each of the dating sites. I tried a handful of them and only really had a good experience on one of them. So no matter what you hear coming from me, it all depends on what you prefer. Let me start out by saying that each of the dating sites generally has its own purpose. I think you know where I'm going with on this, okay? So we have dating sites that are specifically for relationships, right? And we have dating sites that are directed towards hookups. I think people get a little confused between the two, because I'm starting to see more people who are looking for a relationship on hookup sites. Why is that? I have no clue. I'm just going to come right out with it. Tinder
is a hookup site.
Okay? And we have other dating sites that are very similar to that one. I know OkCupid is quite the same. Bumble, They're trying to portray that one as more of like for casual friendships. My ass. But I do know somebody who's dating somebody from Bumble, so who knows? Then there's Match. I used Match the very first time I started online dating, and I was only on there for a little less than a year, but I had the worst experience on Match. I only went on one date, and it was terrible. So, my impression of Match is the people on there just seem very arrogant and mean. The difference with Match is there's a lot of nonverbal cues going on. So you can wink at somebody, give a thumbs up, blow a kiss, who knows. But that's what was on there when I used Match, and it was ridiculous. People were all about getting the attention, but when it came down to actually walking the walk, they couldn't do it. So I immediately got off of Match. But then we have dating sites like eHarmony. I was on eHarmony, but I didn't use the paid version. I used the free version, and the only problem with that one was you couldn't see pictures. And I know you're not supposed to be judging based on pictures, but they only gave you so many matches too. So I think I only saw 2 or 3 matches in a couple months span, and it just wasn't worth it for me, and I wasn't going to pay the money. So that one didn't work for me. And then there's Plenty of Fish. I had good experiences on Plenty of Fish. I had all of my long-term relationships come from Plenty of Fish. The only problem there is there's a lot of weirdos. You have to weed through a lot of bad people on Plenty of Fish. I will say that. But you can get through that. There's somehow this very narrow gap of pretty genuine nice guys on Plenty of Fish. Obviously, not all of them worked out for me, and one did, but I generally had a good experience on Plenty of Fish. I had good dates, we just weren't compatible. But you have to do your research and know what each one is for, and read about some of the success stories on there. You just type in the dating site and success stories and learn about the pros and cons for each one. Okay, so you've chosen your dating site. You've narrowed it down, or maybe you've narrowed it down to multiple dating sites. That's completely fine. I did the same thing. I was on Match, Plenty of Fish, eHarmony, and OkCupid all at the same time. And I varied off on each one. If I didn't like one, I stopped using it and deactivated. So you can do it that way too. But setting up your profile shouldn't be as difficult as people make it seem. You're going to be asked a lot of questions, be given surveys on every single dating site. Please fill them out completely and honestly. Filling it out only benefits you, and whether people believe it or not, all dating sites are based off of an algorithm to your answers. So it's best to answer each one of those questions so that they can match you accordingly to other people's answers. A lot of people believe that it's just a gimmick to get you hooked into the dating site, but there is actually a reasoning behind all of those survey questions. Whether the matches are true, you may not get complete, genuine matches all the time, but they do give you a select few. They should. If they're asking that many questions, that means they have a program set up inside the code of that dating site to match you with people according to your answers. In the first step of the process, you're going to answer those questions. Get that out of the way. And then you're going to have to create a username. Now, people can get pretty creative and pretty nasty when it comes to the usernames. But you got to understand, the username is one of the first things besides your profile picture that people are going to notice online. So, ladies, let's keep it mindful and respectful for yourself. I wouldn't pick a username that is derogatory. So, nothing like whiskey bitch or hot babe looking for you. None of those usernames imply anything positive about yourself. They don't give off the vibe of someone looking for a relationship. Now, if you're not looking for a relationship, by all means, go for it. Go off the deep end, please. But if you're looking for a serious, committed, long-term relationship out of online dating, you've got to be a little more strict on yourself when it comes to, you may be a really fun and funny and charismatic and lively person, but it doesn't need to show in your username. And fellas, same for you guys. When I was online dating, it was really hard not to judge somebody based on their username. And coming from someone who was really big into like AOL Messenger, usernames were hot. They were the thing. They were the thing back in the early 2000s. And, if you didn't have a cool username, people judged you. So I did look at usernames as a dependent on whether or not I was going to give that person my time. Some of the usernames that I really tried to avoid were ones like Big D Danny, Looking to Bone, and anything in relation to sex, drugs, partying, or degrading women in any sense. I throw those out like the trash, basically. So if I wasn't impressed by your username, I wasn't impressed by you. So username is important. Make it unique, make it simple, but, try to keep it interesting so that somebody maybe asks you why you picked that username. Like, my husband's username at the time was Clownfish. It didn't take me long to figure out why his username was Clownfish, because my husband is the goofiest person I've ever met. So, fitting. And my username was Cash because that was my nickname. But it got people talking. So think about what you're going to use as a username before you go ahead and just type in my name. Okay? Think about it. Now let's get into the profile picture. Your pictures are important, but when I say they're important, I don't mean go ahead and take 10 selfies in the bathroom right now and get them up. Okay? There are certain pictures you need to avoid. When I dated online, I noticed a trend, especially with the guys. A lot of pictures looked the same. All right, for me particularly, that annoyed me. Because, first of all, I look at that as arrogance, laziness, and come on, seriously? You don't have any pictures of you doing cool things that were taken by friends and family? A little fishy. There are definitely pictures that you should not be uploading onto your profile. And I'm gonna go into those. Then we'll talk about the kinds of pictures you should upload. Alright, so first we're gonna start with this one. Not a bad picture, only shows the face. The problem is the lighting, okay? It doesn't show enough of your features, okay? I know you're probably trying to go for the mysterious look and the sexy look, and that's fine. But if you're really wanting a relationship, this isn't the picture to portray wanting a relationship. To me, this would portray you're looking for that quick, fun, one-time thing kind of fling, okay? When you use a picture that looks like this with that lighting. The next picture, okay, I get it. As girls, we want to be cute. We want to use silly filters on Snapchat. I mean, I totally understand. But you notice at this angle, what does this make me look like in this picture? It makes me look pretty tall, at least from what you can see. It does make me look a lot slimmer, yes, than I actually am. And it still hides a lot of the vertical scale of what my body really looks like. Okay, so yes, everything looks differently proportionate to what my body naturally looks like from this angle. This is the angle that technically makes you look slimmer, but this is the angle you want to avoid. People are going to be very deceived by this type of picture to when they see you in person. Okay, so you want to avoid that. When I started online dating, I decided to go ahead and create a profile in order to view my competition. So, yes, I went and checked out all the ladies to see what I was up against, to see what I could do different, see what I definitely didn't want to be portrayed as, and to take notes. Harmless, I feel. And this picture was very common in most profiles. And I just don't like it. I don't really see anything attractive behind this picture. Even when I took this picture, I just felt like I was trying to show more than leaving to the imagination. Clearly I wanted to get a visual of my backside in there. And, the face, yeah. I mean, the face. This was common too. The duck face. I mean, it's everybody's personal preference, but I just don't, I just don't see what's attractive about it. If you're trying to be fun and cute, yeah, that's fine, but there's other ways of doing that. I don't want to say that pictures like this draw the wrong attention, but they do, okay? When I see people who are having trouble dating and online dating, and I go and I look at their profiles and they have pictures similar to this, it doesn't make me question at all why they're probably having issues, because they're attracting the wrong type of guys. And the type of guys that they're probably looking for are overlooking that because those guys have expectations themselves. They want a woman who is professional and doesn't need to post a picture like this on the internet. And like I said, I know I'm going to get backlash either way. There's going to be women who feel there's nothing wrong with this picture. And you know what? So be it. If it works for you, congratulations. But I guarantee you there's more than not who grab the wrong attention through using pictures like this on a dating site. Let me talk about these pictures real quick. Am I saying not to post that picture of you in your bikini? No. That is completely your prerogative. But all I'm saying with these pictures are certain ones that you post are a big reflection as to the type of people you're going to attract. And those people that you attract may not necessarily be the people you're looking for, okay? So if you're looking for a committed relationship, a long-term relationship, maybe even possibly marriage out of the deal, posting that bikini picture is going to attract a much larger group of guys that are, one, going to judge you based on how you look unclothed, basically. And second, these are guys that are merely looking to just hook up. 3, they see you as vulnerable and easy, which might in the end turn guys away. So it's just something to think about with your pictures, to try and stay modest and stay true to your vertical form, a true representation of what you look like, and have a variety, so upload a picture that was taken of you on a trip, or a picture of you with your pet or family and friends. And for guys, I think they have it a little easier. Girls tend to have a lot more pressure when it comes to profile pictures, and guys tend to let their ego get in the way in terms of their profile pictures. So when I dated online, a very common thing that I saw in most of the pictures on guys' profiles were, if they weren't doing something cool or impressive, you didn't see any normal pictures of them. And if I did see any normal pictures of guys, they did the same thing that a lot of women tended to do, which was post bathroom selfies. And I think that was more of a rushed ordeal when creating their profile. Like, they were just lazy and, oh crap, I need a few pictures. Let me go take some in my bathroom real quick. Same thing. It's just laziness, and they needed a few quick pictures to upload, so they went and they took 6 in their bathroom. Yeah, no. It doesn't portray anything related to their personality, and I avoided guys like that for all the reasons I just specified. Laziness, they needed to quickly set up their profile and then left it. I needed somebody who took a little effort in wanting to prove to someone what they can offer. When I did stumble upon good-looking guys on dating sites, there was a common thought that ran through my mind most of the time. It made me think, why is he actually online? What's his deal? Does he have a problem keeping women? Does he have a problem in relationships? Why does he resort to online? He seems too good to be true. Like, there's got to be something wrong with him. He either can't be real or he's one of those spam bots. I ran into a bunch of those, but I was also told that a bunch of times too. That, why are you on here? You're so good looking. I don't understand why you would have to be dating online. It doesn't seem like you would have a problem finding a date in person. So I had to try and block that thought. But there were too many times where I just couldn't take certain guys seriously because they were that good looking, and it was due to the kinds of pictures they had uploaded. They had multiple pictures of them without clothes on, or shirtless, I guess you could say, in different situations. So at the gym, at the beach, partying. If I saw that, I couldn't take that person seriously. It didn't lead me to believe they were looking for a relationship by having to do that. To me, it says they were looking for attention, not a relationship. I also came across a bunch of profiles that fit into the thought, they just can't be real. You'll understand what I'm saying when you see these types of pictures online where the guy is either a model or he got professional pictures done, and it's just too unreal. And to me, it made me wonder, why did he have to use every single picture of him a modeling picture? Where is a normal picture of this guy that wasn't photoshopped or edited or enhanced? So I avoided those people too. And the same thing, they were very good looking, and it just didn't give me a good vibe. So it's not true for the guys out there who think all the good looking guys get all the attention first. That's not true, because I didn't get good vibes from most of the really good looking people that I noticed online. To me, I got a false sense of identity. I couldn't help but wonder why those people were on there. The same thing why people wonder why I was on there. But my pictures didn't represent me looking for attention. I had very simple pictures. They were not edited. They were not selfies. They included a variety of a headshot picture of myself, a picture of me and my mom, There was a picture of me fishing, which was in relation to one of my favorite hobbies. And I think there was even a picture of me and my dog on there too. So people got an idea of my normalized life in all the pictures that I uploaded. So let's talk about the pictures to avoid in profiles, okay? I'm talking about in a sense where if you're looking for a relationship and you're looking through profiles, here are the list of pictures you should avoid that are also red flags. And the pictures that you should avoid uploading as well. Group pictures. Those are fine. But when all of your pictures are group pictures, people are going to have a hard time finding out which one is actually you. They're going to have to go in and be like, okay, this person's not in this picture, so it can't be that person. These two are in this picture, but they're not in any of the other ones. Your profile's not a Rubik's Cube. Make it very simple for people to figure out who you are in your pictures. You can upload a couple groups, but don't make them all groups. Partying. Limit your partying pictures, whether you love to or not. If you're uploading 10 pictures and 8 out of 10 of them are with you holding a drink or you just completely obliterated drunk, it's not going to look very good. So depending on how many pictures you're uploading, I would limit it to 1 or 2. If 1 is enough to show you like to have fun, let it be that. No selfies. Just like we discussed when I showed you those pictures, avoid selfies at all costs. Now, if you have a GoPro and you're somewhere really cool, like up in the mountains or at a theme park or something, and you took a really awesome shot with your GoPro, that's fine. But I'm talking about your reverse camera on your phone and holding it way up here. Don't do that. For the love of God, don't do that. Avoid only uploading 1 picture. If you upload only 1 picture, you're going to get a lot of passes. You're going to get a lot of passes. And think about it in terms of yourself when you're looking at profiles. If you only see one person with 1 picture, what does that say? Think about what that says about that person. They didn't take the time, right? And they're also probably very insecure of what they look like, depending on what that 1 picture is. Another big thing that I saw amongst pictures and profiles, people were very sneaky in trying to do this, okay? Let's say there's this really great picture of you, but it's with your ex. So you think, we're not close enough. I guess I can just crop him out, right? But he's clearly visible. Or she. Either way. It's very dangerous to use a picture of yourself with a past relationship. It doesn't even matter if that person was a friend or not. If you crop yourself out of a picture where it looks like you are physically close to someone, it doesn't look good. I will admit I did that in the beginning. I did that, and genuinely all you could see was his arm. And people messaged me saying, who is that person in the picture next to you that you cropped out? They want to know. When you have to use a picture of yourself with an ex, that means that there was a time frame that that picture was taken. And if you're choosing a picture, which you should be, choosing pictures that are within a 6-month range, you pick that picture of you with your ex because that picture was taken 6 months ago, people are going to start to identify, okay, so this person has only been single for this long. I know I'm overanalyzing, but people do overanalyze in online dating. I'm not kidding you. You will get messages that are asked, who is in that picture that you cropped? Is that your brother? I hope that's a family member and not an ex-boyfriend. You're going to get it. So just try to avoid pictures that need to be cropped. But on a side note, I make it seem like your pictures need to be those of a drill sergeant. That's not the case. You don't need to be butt up against a wall looking straight into the camera like a mugshot. I'm not saying that. Be very open with your pictures, but be creative and don't sell yourself short of what you actually look like. Don't try to hide anything, and have fun with these. Pick ones where you are happy, and pick pictures that show off your personality. Okay? Ones that will give people the idea of what you're about and what you like in life. Take the time to really go through your pictures and pick a handful. So at least 5 pictures should be up on your profile. Moving on to your bio. Yay! We're about halfway there. Maybe about halfway. I don't know. But your bio. So it's basically a little something about you. Yeah, because the 100 questions that you answered upon making your profile wasn't enough. No, you actually have to talk about yourself a little. Okay? And if you're not comfortable doing that yet, work on it. Work on it. Start by writing down some positive things about yourself. Write down some things you like about yourself. Write some things down you don't like about yourself. Don't put that on your profile. This bio is your blank canvas. Okay? What do you want people to know? Do not make this a novel, but do not make this too short. Okay? My husband's problem when he made his profile, he made a list of things he liked, and there were like 5 things on this list. If you had seen what was written on his profile, you would have thought that you were talking to a 5-year-old. Okay, my husband wrote down that he liked naps, basketball, fishing, riding his scooter, and Uncrustables. And I married this guy. But anything can happen. So, in our case, he was somebody that I would never have approached, but he was very persistent. He treated me like a human being and a friend. He made it very easy for me to open up and be myself, which is something you don't find very often in people when just talking online. I'm not gonna lie, it is somewhat about taking risks. It is about being concise to the point on what you're looking for and what you want out of online dating. You're not here to make friends. You're not here to hopefully play a bunch of mind games with people. You want people to know who you are and what you're about, and you want to connect with people who value what they know about you and to get to know you further. It's important to avoid all the fluff, which is clearly what my husband did, but in a sense where I would have never approached him due to his profile. The only reason we worked out is because he came on to me. But somehow it worked for him. I wanted to know more, yet in my mind I kept saying, there's no way this is going to work out. And yet it did. But I want to make this really simple for you as far as your bio and what to say in your bio. My advice is to start out at the very top. Just state what it is that you're looking for. So whether you're looking for a relationship, looking to just casually date, or even just hookups, whatever that is, you don't want a serious relationship and you just want to have fun with people, make sure you state that. You don't need to be wasting other people's time if they're not looking for the same thing. Once you've stated what you're looking for at the top, now comes the fun part. List at least 3 different interests and hobbies that you have. They don't need to be descriptive, but just make sure you're honest. And make a point to state one random fact about you that you feel people should know about. Something that maybe most people don't know about you, or something that's very unique about you. The one thing you want to really avoid when it comes to your bio is making it seem like a novel. Okay? No offense, but nobody's going to read that. And as far as what people are looking for, people want to know as quickly as possible whether they are compatible with you from your bio. The things I would try to avoid putting in your bio are obviously things like your phone number, your address, where you live, specifically like the neighborhood. The city's okay because that's going to be actually stated elsewhere in your profile due to vicinity matches. But don't display where you work specifically. You can say what you do, but don't display where you work. If you have kids, you can specify. That's okay, but don't give out names. You can even specify whether you've been married before, but don't go into detail. The thing with making your bio a little extensive is by being too open. So you really want to try to avoid that. Avoid trying to write out your life story. I get it if you had a traumatic personal experience and you want to share it. Wait for that with someone who you've been talking to for an extensive period of time, because unfortunately, upon reading your bio, if you're that open about your life to a point where either you've been hurt in the past or you've been searching long, hard, and wide around the world trying to find somebody, that may be a red flag to certain people. So it's important to know where to draw the line in writing out your bio. Another thing you can add about your hobbies and interests in that one unique fact about you is a goal. Okay, whether it's a lifetime goal or maybe you can specify it being a goal in the next 5 years or 10 years, where you see yourself, or a specific goal that you have been spending your lifetime trying to achieve. Not only does it portray a positive attribute about yourself, it gives people a sense that you have self-respect. And lastly, this is optional, but towards the end of my online dating experience, I did this, and it seemed to benefit me quite a bit. At the end of my bio, I added a little excerpt on specifically the type of person that I was looking for. Generally because I was getting swarmed with all the wrong people, I hoped that maybe those that read my profile would be able to basically eliminate themselves from being a candidate per se. Granted, did that happen all the time? No. It did give guys a sense of hope who thought we could be compatible, and it let me know too that they read my profile. So that's something you could do too. It doesn't have to be long. It can be as simple as you looking for somebody who is funny, or that you really want somebody who likes the outdoors and doesn't need to spend a lot of money to have fun. Something in that nature. There were a lot of major drawbacks and red flags that I noticed in other people's bios that you should look out for. So some of those things are if someone didn't write anything. If they literally left their bio blank, you gotta kind of wonder the purpose for that person being online. Okay, it is what it is. They didn't write anything. They're either on there to troll. They may not really be on there for the right reasons, or they may not be real at all. Look out for anybody that speaks negatively about themselves or people in general, or maybe even an ex-girlfriend, boyfriend. You don't want somebody who can easily exploit or put somebody under the bus, or put the entire online experience under the bus if they're having a difficult time. You want somebody that can remain optimistic no matter how many times they've been rejected, how many times they've been ghosted by people, because like I have said before, a lot of people online are soft, and they will say whatever it is they want to say, and they'll put it in their bio. They will physically go in and change their bio to say what it is that's on their mind, because they want people to know. And they want people to know what they're feeling before they get messages from people. It is a way for them to get attention too. So watch out for that majorly. A lot of times too, you're going to get people that will write in real time in their bio. For example, a lot of people will say,
I know I need to write something in this space, and I'm supposed to talk about myself, but I don't really know what to say, so I'm just writing something in here to not leave it blank.
and with that, People will also try and create what's called a call to action. A lot of times in bios like that, where they are talking in real time, they will say,
if you want to know more about me, just message me.
It's the dumbest excuse to try and get people to message them. You're begging for attention. It's also lazy. They don't want to talk about themselves unless it's to somebody they know is actually interested, based on what that person initially has, which is their pictures. People that do that in their bios are saying a lot about themselves, meaning they are willing to take up just about anything, or they're very quick to judge. Very quick to judge based on, okay, well, this person wrote me, so they were obviously interested in knowing more about me because I told them to do that in my bio. It's also very arrogant and somewhat controlling. There's just a lot of tit for tat and mind games going on there. Not a good thing to be getting into when you're looking for a serious relationship. Keep these things in mind when setting up your profile and take your time. This isn't supposed to be something that is rushed. It needs to be well thought out. And remember, you can always go back into your bio and your profile and make changes or upload new pictures. That can be done at any point in time during the process. In the next phase of this series, I'm going to go into messaging etiquette, which is really important when you start to talk to people and when people start talking to you, what you should be looking for, the things you should say and shouldn't say to people initially. I'll get more in depth on the red flags to avoid in the messages that you receive in online dating. So stay tuned and catch up with me on my next video. Bye!